indicate that 56% of women in Uganda have experienced physical violence at some point since the age of 15 years. 28% of women aged 15 to 49 have experienced sexual violence, and 16 have experienced violence during pregnancy.
As an organization, we have mainly three thematic areas. One is emergency response and disaster risk reduction. And that is where we receive refugees when they arrive, as they have been processed from Congo.
Michael, not real name, a Congolese national who fled the DRC to seek refuge at Ramwanja settlement, was sexually assaulted by an unknown person during a war in DRC. To date, Michael is still nursing a painful experience that left him with severe wounds and a post-traumatic disorder.
I was sodomized in Congo. I have experienced only pain since then. At some point, I wanted to enroll to the university, but my condition cannot allow me to. When everything failed, I decided to give up until such a time an opportunity presents itself.
Since the moment I was forcefully sodomized, my wife and I were normal. When it all happened, I was too ashamed to tell her about what had happened. I just kept to myself all alone in the house. You see, I can't sleep with my wife. How can I sleep with her when everything is dysfunctional? How? I have to wear over 4 underwears, otherwise my muscles can't hold.
Sexual violence is inflicted on women with tougher impacts. Unsuspecting women are prey to this frightening behavior.
We were
living in DRC and these men came, tied us up, threw us on the ground and raped us. They raped me in front of my children.
Sifa was 12 years old when she was raped by an unknown man in DRC.
He held my throat, tied me on a tree and removed my clothes. My siblings ran to call for help, but by the time they reached, he had finished raping me and fled.
Defilement, rape, indecent assault, and incest, particularly for women and adolescent girls, are among the immoralities, and placing them at the heart of the Lutheran World Federation's agenda is key to saving lives, advancing economic development, well-being, and social justice.
We provide services like counseling. We do home visiting. If the survivor is not in a good position to stay in his place or her place, we take the survivor to protection house. We support the survivors with non-food items and food items. Then we also give legal advice, and we proceed escorting the survivor to court.
In an effort to create awareness and mobilize support for survivors of gender-based violence, the Lutheran World Federation works in partnership with government and non-government organizations to ensure that the problem is overturned.
We monitor and coordinate refugee programs. So LWF is at the forefront to handle gender-based violence. And they've done a lot as far as GBV is concerned. They build the capacities of staff, and at the same time, the communities and the community structures.
At the core of that is what we call Zero Tolerance Village Alliance, which is like our vehicle at the moment that we use to create that kind of awareness. So we go to a village, we stay there for 6 months, we have dialogue sessions, we have people engaging with their leaders, we have people learning the consequences, the effects, the causes of gender-based violence. And as the 6 months come to an end, they graduate. They publicly tell the rest of the world that they have come to a point where they have zero tolerance to violence against anyone in that community, especially gender-based violence.
The Lutheran World Federation's interventions have indeed greatly improved lives of all gender-based violence survivors, especially in Ramwanja settlement.
LWF has helped me a lot through counseling and providing me with basic needs. If it were not for them, I don't know where I would be. They give me everything, including emotional and material support. They referred me to a hospital, and I am only waiting for operation that I was promised. That's all.
I live better today because of LWF. My children go to school, they eat well and live a better life. LWF also gave me a house. They counseled me and made me forget all about the bad memories. You see, LWF doesn't just give you money, they empower you too.
Then we also do sensitizations as a prevention activity through music, dance, and drama. We also use information, education, and communication materials to do sensitizations. We also conduct radio talk shows as we are doing sensitizations. Then also under prevention activities, we do advocacy meetings where we have the Kamwenje District GBV Task Force group members. We sit down and find out the issues that may end up causing GBV. We come up with action points and we implement the action points.
The Lutheran World Federation will continue advocating and providing sustainable support to survivors of gender-based violence, which is fundamental to achieving a consistent, coherent, relevant, and effective framework of sustainable development to ensuring that this vice is completely squashed.
Our leaders, the issue of gender-based violence, the issue of perpetration of violence is a very serious issue. We need you to listen to the voices of people who are at risk and who are vulnerable, and when you listen to them, then we know that you can be able to do the best that you know how to do to make sure that this does not happen again.
The national theme for this year's 16 Days of Activism campaign is well thought of and speaks to the paradigm shift desired in ending violence against women and girls. Linking GBV to its roots in gender discrimination and gender inequality necessitates not only working to meet the immediate needs of the affected survivors, but also to implement programmatic strategies that promote long-term social and cultural change towards gender equality. Everyone, including men and boys, face protection problems. However, women and girls are exposed to particular protection problems related to their gender, their cultural and socio-economic position. Therefore, these make them attract specific protection actions in their favor. We call upon the Uganda government to uphold commitments to girls' and women's human rights made in a number of treaties, national and international frameworks, and especially the UN Human Rights Council's recommendation to end GBV among women refugees. LWF pledges to work with the state and humanitarian partners to scale up the engagement with men and boys to end violence against women and girls.
Ononya lanji esinga obulungi nga ya bbeeyi ya wansi.